eBaseball Power Pros is out. I know a lot of you have questions. How do I play this game? So we have
Miguel Lozada here, first-time player.
an absolute noob, and we're going to teach him everything there is to know about Power Pros. First question for you.
This is very, very new to America, so nobody knows how to play like myself. So that's about the extent of what I know.
But you've played a lot of other sports games, right?
Yeah, I know the
this,
concept of baseball. I'm familiar. I play MLB The Show. I play a whole bunch of other sports games. I coach my son's T-ball team and farm team now, so pretty familiar with the sport. Just not comfortable with this game yet. Because the game doesn't come with a tutorial. It just throws you out there. It's kind of like Destiny, right?
Dang.
Destiny just threw you out there, and
What a
you
game.
just had to figure it out.
Let's get the question juices flowing. What's like the first big question you have?
How do I even play a friend? How do I play you? How do I get to that screen?
You hit championship there at the top. You're doing that now?
Okay.
And then you're into the main screen. Quick game, you're going to want to hit into quick game. But basically, there's 4 lobbies here. You can go to any of these lobbies, and they just scroll endlessly into like an open game. And so my favorite number is 8, so I'm actually going to go to lobby 1, number 8, and I'm going to create a game room there. Like any restrictions on things, teams, we're going to do 3 innings. And then we'll keep all this other on. And then no password setting. So in theory, someone else could join in. But I'll tell you when I have it created. Number 8. It should say Frisk.
Number 8. Frisk, yep.
All right, click it.
You're rank E?
I am E. I've only played 30 games so far.
I'm rank G.
Yeah, G's the worst. So the scale, I don't know if you knew this. The scale goes from G to F. No. G, F, E. It's the standard alphabet. C or D, C, B, A, but then S. M Lozada Mig. Yeah, you're right. G rank. That's what I said.
How do you get your guy looking so nice though?
We'll show you that. We'll go back and show you that.
Okay,
so
we'll
pick your picture here though.
Okay, so my picture has 3 colors.
Yes.
Red, pink, and green.
Red means they can be a starter.
Okay.
Pink means that they're either middle reliever, closer. And then the green actually means they can play a little bit of outfield.
So how do you know if the pitcher is good though?
All right, great question. So when you're hovering over a player on the right-hand part of the screen, you'll see a star. And you'll see a number next to that star. The higher the number, the better the player.
What's the max number?
999.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I have a 477. So I'm going to go with that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably good. And then infielders are yellow and outfielders are green. Catcher's blue. And yeah, there we have it. Jump in and you got Puerto Rican flag. Nice.
Yeah. Could you find a Ohtani equivalent in this game? Is there a hidden show?
Yeah, well, so actually they're called reincarnated OB, reincarnated pros. So basically you can like exact copy of what Ohtani was when he was in this game before he went to the MLB. You can get him in here. But not just yet. This is the English version they have here is like a much lighter version of the real full game.
Okay. So see, you have this. You have that little field thing and stuff, and I don't know if I do or don't. I should. We'll see when I field. We'll see.
Oh, there you go. We got a piece. So that player, his name's Yabe, or Marvin from MLB Power Pros 2008. Very beloved player.
So what was all that? What was that Goku-like power up that my guy just did? Or do you not see that part?
Yeah, so look above his name. It says Sendo above his name. He has an ability that's called Clinical. That's an English translation, which is not a great one. But it means that he is like a contact hitter.
Okay.
And so,
and then he just had red when he had that foul ball.
Yep.
And it's this fanned. I'm guessing no bueno.
Yep. So that's the relocalized version, but really what that is, it's like tendency to strike out. So basically, the PCI drops when he has 2 strikes on him. And so my guy Kanahara, he has table setter, clinical, and squibber. Table setter means the first at bat of the game, he has a boost to his ratings. And that will be foul. And then clinical is, contact hitter. And then I don't remember exactly what squibber is.
Oh my goodness.
But your pitcher has, F poise, which means that. Man, just missing that. I'm waiting a little bit late. Basically means he gets rattled. Yeah, that's gonna get down. Oh, jeez. And then he's not as good against lefties.
What's the difference between a fastball and a fastball plus?
Fastball plus means like max effort. Means but it drains energy faster.
Okay.
Oh
my goodness.
Yep, and then regular fastball, just, it's a fastball, conserves energy, but it's, a couple miles per hour slower.
How do I dive?
Circle.
Circle. I hit X.
Yep.
Nothing happened. That's
and then
why.
triangle. Triangle is how. Oh, what a play!
Let's go!
Wow, you got out of it. Look at
I didn't
that.
think he was gonna catch that.
Yeah, you did. You timed it well.
Okay, so when you make a team, it just randomly generates
It
people,
did,
right?
it did for you. Yeah, but you can go in and just you could have changed that. Like you,
so
you can customize it.
Can you tell how bad I miss or where I swung at?
No.
Dang.
Just now if you move your PCI to a place and you take a pitch, there's an animation that plays and makes it look like you're off balanced. If you swing and strike out and your dude like spins around and falls on the ground, that means there's a big whiff. Like you missed by a lot.
So there are little tells though, like okay, he wasn't able to read that,
if I'm ahead of a pitch, then he looks like he lunges. So, but yeah, your actual pitcher on the mound here, he's actually American. It's actually kind of funny. Oh, wow! You didn't need to jump there. You hit triangle, or what you need to do is
I try to dive.
Circle, remember, not triangle.
Yeah, circle. Okay, all right, circle. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played MLB The Show in a while. I'm pretty sure it's the same buttons.
Yeah. Also, too, when you're running the base paths, if you tap the left and right shoulder bumpers back and forth, you get like a speed boost.
Wait. You can make him run faster?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you'll know because they'll be blinking when you're doing it, so you can hear me doing this.
Yeah, I saw it.
So it's left, right, and then blink. Yeah.
Just on the bumpers, right?
Yep, just the bumpers. See, so pitching wise, you're leaving a lot over the plate. Key to being successful in this when pitching is to just hit corners.
What was that? Why is my guy looking like he just got smacked around?
So when you get when you get a series of hits, it's a little bit kind of random. When there's a series of hits, back to back to back, your player gets kind of rattled, and so their mood.
Dang it!
Their mood temporarily goes down. You see that the little smiley face? That's
right.
Their mood. And see, so now he has purple. The purple cloud that went over him.
Right.
That's what you don't want. And he's really dropping stamina fast if you look.
Oh my goodness.
And
I gotta take this guy out.
Yeah, you gotta get him out there. So you're gonna look with players with pink players.
Pink, okay. Pink
and
players.
then
what does yellow mean?
Yellow's infield. They play infield.
Okay, no.
The things you want to look for, you want to look at the pitch, the different pitches. Like you'll see, what your pitch selections look like, and you want to look for people that have, like a level 7, 6, 5 pitches, meaning like the bar is almost all the way full. That means that pitch is really good. You also want people to have great accuracy or control.
Control, okay.
Yeah, stamina and control are like the two main ratings. Control, just because I mean these are 3-inning games, control is way more important. And plus, like we talked about, you gotta hit corners. If you throw it over the plate, it's really easy to hit. So Tezuka, who you're throwing here, he has a really good slider. His curveball's really slow though. It's actually kind of easy to hit because it hangs for so long, so you can kind of track it. But it's a good pitch to bury in the ground and get someone to chase. His slider's pretty good.
Isn't there a mercy rule? Is there a mercy rule in this game?
There
Probably
is,
not
yeah.
for this one. I
Yeah.
accidentally did that. I didn't even mean to do that.
Pitch.
All right. So how much does the mood actually affect the player?
A lot. So sometimes it's better to pick a worse player. It's better to pick a worse player. I think I'll have to look and see exactly what the percentage is, but oh, come on.
Ooh.
I thought I was I think
go back.
we talked about that the other day. See, I weighted the right amount, but I had wrong positioning.
No, I mean, all right. So I think biggest takeaway though is once the starting pitcher starts not feeling it, right? Like once he got those purple clouds, I probably should have pulled him out.
Yeah, I mean, so in this game, different than MLB The Show, mood like really matters. Like morale. Like morale is like a throwaway thing in the show, and this, like, it's like a bad player with the like a pink jumping up and down happy face with a star. It can be like the best player on the team because I think they get like a 20% boost, 20 to 30% boost on all their ratings. Go into the main menu.
Okay, main menu.
And then go to player stats. All right, so
on custom team or just anywhere?
Well, on the main menu, just there it should say.
Oh, I was still on the champion one. Okay,
yeah.
Player stats. Okay, I see.
On the main menu, go into player stats.
Okay.
And I'll talk about some of the players. So the first player you should see on your screen is Yabe, right?
Yabe. Okay.
Okay. So see that F next to clutch?
I'm guessing that means he's not a clutch player.
He's not. So anytime there's a runner in scoring position, a little purple cloud falls over him and his PCI shrinks. The next
That's
rating,
awful.
Yeah, the next rating is how well he does versus left-handed pitchers. So it's a D, so it's not great. Grit is like error resistance. So it's their resistance to error, resistance to injury, not errors. It doesn't necessarily matter here at all, so you don't even look at it. Stealing is how good of a jump they get. And a runner is like how good they are running the bases.
How do you steal? I don't even know how to steal.
Yeah, so like MLB The Show, you can use the triggers or you can use the base. So if you want someone on first, let's just say you got a runner on first and you want to steal, you have to manually time it though yourself. Like there is no like hit the button and it auto does it. You have to choose when to steal. And so if I want someone to steal second, you press triangle and try and read and time the pitcher. But when you do that, stealing, so the when you press triangle, the time from when you press the triangle until the player runs and gets in their animation cycle, the better the stealing rating they have, the slower that is. And so that's how that comes through. It's basically them getting a jump. And then runner is how good they are at like rounding bases. Because sometimes it's, other players are slow and they kind of round wrong and things like that. Throwing is like how, I know it can confuse people because there's arm strength here and there's throwing. Both of them kind of go hand in hand, where throwing is like their technique and ability to throw. And then the arm strength is like how hard that they do that. And so the best, it's more important to find someone that has a high throw rating than a high arm strength. Recovery is recovering from injury. So along with grit, that doesn't matter. And then underneath here, these are all like different abilities that each one has. And trajectory is like the the arc off the bat. That's a relatively new thing, probably for you. They don't have anything like that in the show, but in this, basically, 1 trajectory means that they're a ground ball hitter. 2 means they're a line drive. 3 means they're a fly ball line drive, and then 4 means like fly ball hitter. I've found that 3 trajectory is probably the best. That's when you get like true people that can drive things into the gap. Because even if you do a power swing and you square up a ball, if they have 1 trajectory, it's going to be a hard ground ball, and like that sucks. So that's one thing. Trajectory is kind of important to also think about evaluating the type of swing.
So stay away from 1.
Not necessarily stay away, but it's kind of like you just want to know what type of hitter they are,
Right.
And then hit is like contact, like how good are they making contact. Usually that indicates how big their PCI is. And then power is their power swing, and that's when you change it to a power swing. That also can get smaller and bigger based off of power.
Rating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Run speed, pretty self-explanatory. We talked about arm strength. Fielding is the fielding ability. Catching, I know people have been getting confused at that. They're like, what does that mean? That's basically error resistance. So Yabe here, he's a C fielder, which means he's really good at he's above average at getting jumps on balls. But because he has F catching or F air resistance, he's likely to make a lot of errors in the outfield.
Okay. And like, say if a first baseman had an F, he's probably just going to miss the ball or drop it versus catching him, right?
Yes, and that happens and sucks. So you rarely here, I'll say this. You rarely see first basemen drop balls on routine plays. It's when they get a little bit of pressure on them, meaning it's a high pressure situation. Like, pressure matters in Power Pros too. It's a rating called intimidation. So if it's a high pressure situation and a batter is intimidating, it'll raise the ratings of all the fielders in the team. So that's this can get really complex.
This is really like, this isn't like, you choose like a player, like MLB show, usually like you just like, all right, who's the best player? I'm good. This one you have to pay a little bit more attention because you could have.
It's way more strategic. Like right. I keep telling people that like ratings and abilities matter in this game where they don't feel like they do in the show. It's like, what's the difference between a 120 power player and a 90 power player? Like, really? Whereas,
right.
Like, I mean, there's so many factors that go into it. So if you also then, let's go down to, I'm trying to find a player.
Does equipment matter?
No, equipment is just like
cosmetic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have Takeda on yours? Should be green, outfielder.
Yep.
Okay. So look at Takeda. So just so you can see another look at somebody that has different sets of ratings and stuff. So he's A clutch. So I mean, he's great with runners in scoring position. And so you want to think about players like this hitting in your 3, 4, 5 holes, right? Because if people get on base, his PCI actually grows instead of getting smaller. And then also, if you look at his abilities, he has Survivor, which means that his PCI grows when he has 2 strikes on him. Rally, when runners in scoring position, his ratings increase. He's got Clutch on top of Clutch, which means he gets a double boost. And so, but he's a moody swinger, which is like a free swinger, which means like he'll swing at. He's like Vlad Guerrero, swing at like bad pitches.
Right.
And then he's a good pinch hitter. But if you then go over to the yellow tab, like hit the right bumper till you get the yellow tab, it says that he has some assignment rules, or this is like personality. Everything in green is kind of like who it makes them who they are. And so he's a slugger, so it means he takes big hacks, but he's a patient hitter, so he doesn't swing at the first couple pitches. And an aggressive fielder means he's diving and trying to, catch balls in the outfield that maybe he might not be able to get. And so all these little things like create so many. What makes this game so cool is that all of these variables of ratings create so much independency of each of these players, and they look, feel, and act like different. And that then adds like such an element of strategy. Yeah, so if you see that gold thing there, that's called a gold ability. That is those are the best abilities.
It says whispers to batters, confuses them. Suzumoto, 535 stars. Jesus.
Yeah, so Suzumoto is probably one of the best. So Suzumoto, Kiba, are probably one of the 2 better pitchers right now. What makes Suzumoto so good is if you look at it, you've got runners in scoring position is the first one. And then you've got against left-handed batters, poise, which is just having composure. Heater is what they call it in here, but technically that means fastball life. And usually it creates this illusion that his fastball is faster than it really is. And then agile as mean like how do they field pitches back at them up the middle. But then he's good pickoff, good at handling pitches, hit back, has great reflexes, so becomes an infielder. Looks like he gets a boost on his low ball, and his personality is chill.
I just found a Dragon Ball Z looking guy. Yeah. Oh, what's Ukami's story? He does like the axe on the thing. That's just an animation he gets, or what?
Yeah. So in every Power Pros year that's come out, they have what's called success mode scenarios. Success scenarios is where you play a high school or a university and you go up against them. But basically, it's like a samurai high school. And so, have you seen Zenzai, the ninja that when she throws the sakura blossoms? Yeah. So she's in the same school, and basically at that school, they're learning to be samurais.
Well, how do you take an at bat? What are you looking like? What is it? You're like, okay, let me try to like. Are you looking at where the ball pops up, or are you trying to figure out the trajectory from?
If you're trying to look at, if you're trying to wait till you see the icon, you're gonna lose. Like it's not enough time. Like, so basically, I'm trying to almost like look at the ball out of the hand, but out of my periphery, look for the PCI and the icon. And so I played it enough now that out of the hand, I mean, just kind of like you can with the show, right? Like you can be like, oh, okay, I see that out of the hand, that you get to know where it's going. One thing that's actually really good about Power Pros that the show does not have, that makes the show probably a little bit harder. I know some people are probably like, what? Power Pros feels harder right now, but it's just going to take time. Power Pros, as soon as the ball comes out, for the marker, it gives you the spin of the ball. I don't know if you noticed that.
Right, yeah, I did. I noticed it. You could tell, you could read a spin. So you know.
So basically through practice, you can realize, you're like, okay, Onishi is pitching to me. He has 4 pitches, a fork ball, a sinker, a curveball, a slider, and a shoot ball. Okay. The spin on those pitches look like this. And also the ball size changes. And it's pretty cool because the on a fork ball, the ball doesn't spin, but it gets really big. And I think a lot of people probably would be like, well, why does that happen? Well, they designed it like that. They designed it like that, Miguel, because they want you to they want you as a hitter to think the pitch is looking fat, like it's a beach ball, but then it falls off a table, right? And so
Right.
it's meant to kind of mess with your head.
Deceive you. Like you think like, oh yeah, this is a good one. And then
so the forkball actually doesn't move that much. But the way that it is in the game, the ball gets big. There's no spin. It gets big for like a blip of a second. And then it contracts to even smaller. And then it drops. And you can get a lot of people with like a forkball right low in the middle of the plate because it looks like a fat pitch they're going to hit.
Right.
And so every pitch kind of has like a different like thing that you can read into, but it's meant to deceive you, but it's also meant to kind of stimulate what it is actually like to read pitches in baseball. And so I'm looking at pitch out of hand, and then I'm immediately trying to I know who the pitcher is and what pitches they have, and then trying to look at the spin. And the spin is going to tell you how fast and how much the pitch is going to move.
Can you see what pitches a pitcher has without knowing them? Or no, it's not like MLB The Show where you can press a button and it shows you like the 4 pitches.
Yeah, it does. So in the game, right above the pitcher is their pitches. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, but I don't know what each one means, right? Like the directional, I guess. So I guess like within time, I would know like straight down 3 means slider or splitter or something,
well,
right?
It tells you.
All right, man. We'll catch up.
All right.
All right, no problem.
Yeah. So there you have it. Went up against Miguel, newbie, trying to learn the game. Hope you guys all learned something from this too. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all watching. And until the next one, we'll see ya. Peace.